Hi, this is Alejandra and Alicia Ingalls. We are studying the family systems theory, and the family systems theory derived from the general systems theory, which focused on how objects in the world are interrelated. Family systems theories look at the family as a whole, typically not wasting time finding blame for a problem because the beginning point of a conflict can often not be found. This leaves the family therapist free to focus on to resolving the problem. I will share the assumptions to begin. These assumptions are in the following orange wording. The family is like a cake. All ingredients are individuals who make up the overall treat. Without an individual, there's an imbalance to the recipe. With different ingredients, we have different results. Some of the slides we will be relating to Cinderella, as you can see on this slide. The locus of pathology is not within the person, but is a system dysfunction. The communication between members of the family varies. So an identified patient, though the dysfunction is as a whole, there are certain members who contribute more than others, as we can see in the Cinderella movie that I'll further discuss. A family is a goal-seeking system continually influenced by feedback loops used to self-regulate and adjust. Goals can be explicit or implicit and can also shift as circumstances change. A family will monitor their ability to keep on track with their goals. Feedback can come from either within the family or outside the family. Positive feedback enables sustaining change. Negative feedback opposes fluctuations in the system functioning and attempts to return it to a previous state. Both forms of feedback can be considered good for the family system. Family systems are defined by their communication. Individual members act and react based on meanings that they send and receive, whether it's verbal messages, nonverbal messages, context, and shared history impact the message received. Communication patterns reveal a great deal about family dynamics. So the question is, how do we analyze a family's communication? These are some of the concepts, or are the concepts that make up the theory, and we will only focus on a few. Family roles. All family members take on roles. Roles are defined as recurring patterns of behavior that develop based on interactions among family members. In the Disney classic Cinderella, she has been given the role of a servant. Her stepmother and stepsisters do not view her as an equal in the family. She is made to do all the housework and suffers abuse in this dysfunctional family. Just as family goals can be explicit or implicit, so can family roles. The hierarchy in the family is that of the stepmother, who has all the power, followed by the sisters, and then even the cat Lucifer appears to have some powers, as you can see in this picture. He is the one who ruined the floor as she finished cleaning, so she would have to do it again. Homeostasis hypothesis. When something tries to create change in the family, there's usually a tendency to resist. Paradoxical communication occurs when powerful members of a family send inconsistent messages and make inconsistent demands. This usually results in an emotional disturbance. Feedback. We kind of talked about this earlier, but a family system corrects itself and tries to regain homeostasis or try to incorporate change through the use of feedback loops. When positive feedback is present and system alterations occur, morphogenesis is the result. Just like we read in the chapter earlier this week, the example given in the family systems theory book while attending college, even though this is for my example, even though my family knows how much we love each other, I had to wait until college to tell them I love you verbally. We had never expressed it verbally or physically, which was a little awkward for my family members when I started telling them I love you on the phone. But I knew I wanted to because all my roommates did it. And we were experiencing for morphogenesis. My, mo- my mother started saying it back, even though it was awkward at first. On the other hand, my father didn't know how to accept the change, so he ignored it and didn't say it back. So, since it was awkward for me, I decided to ignore it as well. And I don't really tell him I love you, which is kind of interesting, but this relates to morphostasis. And here's another example of boundaries. A family maintains its boundaries by filtering out any external elements that seem hostile to the goals and policies of the family, while at the same time incorporating those that are deemed beneficial. Here's family cohesion is the degree of closeness or emotional bonding family members have for one another, and a family's the ability to new and or stressful situations represent a family's flexibility. Circular causality versus linear causality. Parents treat teens like a child, and then the teen acts like a child. This is a sequence that continues to loop around without a clear time at which the behavior started. And the linear example, it's one event can be identified as the cause. This is our family system steering. Hopefully you can continue to study this chapter because we know it's a full one. Good luck.